Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll talk about users in Azure Active Directory. So in Active Directory or Entra ID, users refers to a person, a service or a app that needs access to your organization resource, and the resource can be of any type like Microsoft 365 or any Azure service like database service, storage service or Azure web service to deploy a website or any other custom apps that comes under your organization resource. There are three types of users available. The first one is member users, the second one is guest user, and the third one is service principal or management identities. Talk about them one by one. The first one is member users. These are the internal users, means they are the employees of their company or any insider of their organization or company, and they have full access to internal resources. And member users can be created directly through Azure Entra ID tenant, and they can be created when they join the company, and they will get a email ID using which they can log into the Azure Active Directory and access the resources, and we can add them manually or automatically. Now let's talk about the guest users. Guest users are basically external users like a different company partner or a guest that are invited to join any kind of meeting or work any kind of resource that your organization people can handle. In that type of scenario, we use a guest users, and the guest user have limited access to the resources, only that much access that you will provide to the guest user. And generally we don't give a new email ID to the guest user, just like we provide to our member users. Guest users are invited using their own Gmail or domain address, and they also join with that particular email address. Maybe this is creating a little bit confusion, but in the practical session I'll show you how this work and how they are invited throughout their own email address. Now the last one, service principal or management identities, and they are not human users. These are basically apps or services, and generally when you will create users in user section, they will don't appear there. You will only see the two options, that will be member users and guest user. There will be no option for service principal users. That's because these are not human beings. These are just apps or service that need permission to access the resources, but you can view them in enterprise application or app registration section. So that's the theory part of Azure users. Now move to the practical section. So now I am in my Azure portal. From there I'll go to the Entra ID, and inside manage you can access the user section. Here you can view and create new users. Now let's create a new user. For that, click here, then click on create a new user to create a member user type. And if you want to create a guest user type, then click on invite external users. So first of all, I'll create a member type user. So here you will give name to the employee, and in the display name, give a name. Click on next, and from here you can provide more information. Here the other job information you can provide. From here you can add the manager of the user, and the manager will be one of the user that is already created in our Azure users. For now I'll choose no manager. Now I'll create on review and create. Click on create, hit on refresh, and as you can see our new user is created. Now let's see how we can add a guest user. For that, click on new user, then invite external user, and from here you need to type the email ID of the guest user. And now this email ID is not the email ID that we are going to provide. This is the user's pre-existing email ID. That can be a Gmail ID or a Yahoo email ID or any other company email ID. I'll provide my email ID, and now from here you can add any kind of message, and also you can add a display name here. I'll click on review and invite. Click on invite. Now the invitation is sent to the user. Now let's go to our email ID, and this is our email ID where you get the invitation. Default directory is the Azure tenant name, and this is our domain name. And from here we can accept the invitation. A new user John is added to our Active Directory, and in user type he is listed as a guest user. So that's it for this video. I hope you like this video and learn something new throughout this video.